Have you ever wondered why one careless word, one betrayal, one rejection, or one unexpected failure has the power to steal your peace for days, weeks, or even years? Listen carefully, because the greatest prison is not built with iron bars. It is built inside the mind. The day you master your mind is the day the world loses its power to control your emotions. From this moment forward, make a decision. You will no longer hand strangers the keys to your happiness. You will no longer allow circumstances to determine your value. You will become unshakable. Most people wake up every morning already defeated, not because life has beaten them, but because they have trained themselves to react instead of lead. Someone ignores their message and they feel worthless. A coworker receives recognition and they become jealous. A family member criticizes them and suddenly they question everything about themselves. Their emotions rise and fall depending on what happens around them. They are like leaves blowing in every direction, never rooted, never stable, never at peace. But you were not created to live like a leaf. You were created to stand like a mighty tree. Storms may come. Strong winds may shake every branch. Rain may pour without mercy. Yet the tree remains because its strength is hidden beneath the surface. The roots are deep. Nobody applauds the roots. Nobody takes pictures of the roots. Yet without them, the tree cannot survive. In the same way, your greatest strength is not what people see. It is the unseen discipline you build inside your heart every single day. Understand this truth. The world will always give you reasons to become angry, discouraged, offended, or afraid. There will always be people who misunderstand you, criticize you, underestimate you, or even celebrate your failures. If your peace depends on their behavior, then your peace will never last. Real strength begins when you stop asking life to become easier and start becoming stronger than your circumstances. Imagine two people walking through the same storm. One complains about every drop of rain. The other keeps walking because the destination matters more than the discomfort. The storm is the same. The difference is not the weather. The difference is the mindset. Winners are not people who avoid difficult seasons. Winners are people who refuse to surrender their purpose because of difficult seasons. From today, stop measuring your life by temporary emotions. Feelings change, opinions change, circumstances change, but purpose remains. When you know who you are, criticism becomes noise instead of a command. Rejection becomes direction instead of defeat. Failure becomes education instead of destruction. Every challenge becomes another opportunity to grow stronger. Never forget this. You cannot control every event that enters your life, but you can always control the person you choose to become because of it. The greatest victory you will ever win is not over another person. It is over the version of yourself that believed everything outside you had the power to decide everything inside you. From this day forward, choose mastery over reaction, purpose over emotion, and inner strength over temporary comfort. Your future begins the moment you make that choice. Have you noticed that the strongest people are rarely the loudest? The people who cannot be broken are often the ones who have mastered something invisible. They have learned a secret that most people never discover. They understand that life is not controlled by what happens around them. Life is transformed by what happens within them. The moment you realize this truth, you stop chasing approval, stop fearing rejection, and stop allowing temporary moments to steal your permanent peace. Think about a ship crossing a vast ocean. The ocean is filled with powerful waves, violent storms, and unpredictable winds. Yet none of those things can sink the ship unless the water gets inside it. In the same way, problems around you cannot destroy you unless you allow them to enter your heart. The criticism, disappointment, betrayal, and negativity surrounding you only become dangerous when you invite them into your thinking. Protect your inner world, because everything you become begins there. Many people spend their entire lives trying to control other people. They want everyone to understand them. They want everyone to agree with them. They want every situation to go exactly as planned. But the more they try to control the outside world, the more frustrated they become. Peace is never found through controlling people. Peace is found through controlling yourself. Imagine holding a burning piece of coal because someone else made you angry. You think you are preparing to throw it back at them, Meanwhile, your own hand is being burned. This is what unforgiveness does. This is what resentment does. This is what constant worry does. You suffer long before anyone else notices. The greatest act of freedom is not proving someone wrong. It is refusing to let them occupy space inside your mind. Every day, your mind receives thousands of thoughts. Some build you, some destroy you. If you accept every negative thought as truth, your life will slowly become a reflection of fear. But when you begin questioning those thoughts instead of believing them, everything changes. Ask yourself, does this thought make me stronger or weaker? Does it move me toward purpose or away from it? The quality of your life depends on the quality of the thoughts you choose to keep. There will always be voices telling you that you are not enough. Some will come from strangers, some will come from people you love. Sometimes the loudest voice will be your own, but never confuse a passing thought with your permanent identity. Clouds may cover the sun, yet the sun never stops shining. In the same way, difficult emotions may cover your confidence, but they do not erase your worth. The strongest person is not the one who never feels pain. The strongest person is the one who feels every emotion yet refuses to let emotion become the master. Feel disappointment, but keep moving. Feel fear, but keep believing. Feel rejection, but keep growing. Every time you choose purpose over emotion, you strengthen your character. Every challenge becomes another lesson. Every setback becomes another step. And every difficult season prepares you for a future that only those with unwavering minds are able to carry. Have you ever asked yourself why two people can experience the exact same failure, yet one rises stronger while the other remains trapped in regret for years? The answer is not talent, it is not luck, it is not intelligence. The answer is perspective. The greatest battles are never fought on the outside. They are won or lost inside the mind, long before anyone else sees the results. The day you change your perspective is the day you begin changing your entire life. Picture an eagle flying high above the mountains. While smaller birds rush to hide when a storm approaches, the eagle does something different. Instead of escaping the storm, it spreads its wings and rises above it. The very wind that frightens others becomes the force that lifts the eagle even higher. Life works the same way. The challenges that break one person can become the very thing that elevates another. The difference is not the storm. The difference is the response. Many people pray for a life without problems, but growth has never lived inside comfort. Every strong person you admire has walked through seasons of disappointment, loneliness, rejection, and uncertainty. Those moments did not appear to destroy them. They appeared to reveal what was already hidden within them. Pressure never creates character. Pressure exposes it. If you want to know what truly lives inside your heart, pay attention to how you respond when life becomes difficult. Think about a sculptor standing before a massive block of stone. To an ordinary person, it looks like nothing more than a heavy rock, but the sculptor already sees the masterpiece hidden inside. Every strike of the hammer removes something unnecessary. Every cut reveals greater beauty. Life often feels like that hammer. Every setback removes pride. Every disappointment removes dependence on temporary things. Every challenge shapes you into someone stronger than you were before. Stop asking why every difficult thing happened to you. Begin asking what it is trying to teach you. This single question changes everything. Instead of becoming a victim of your circumstances, you become a student of your experiences. Pain always has something to teach the person willing to listen. Every failure carries wisdom. Every rejection carries direction. Every delay carries preparation. Nothing is wasted when you choose to grow instead of complain. There will be moments when nothing seems to make sense. Doors will close without explanation. People you trusted may leave. Opportunities you expected may disappear. During those moments, do not confuse delay with denial. A seed spends a long time hidden beneath the ground before anyone celebrates the harvest. Just because nobody sees progress does not mean progress is not happening. Your unseen season is preparing you for a visible future. Never allow one bad chapter to convince you the entire story is over. Every sunrise proves that darkness has an ending. Every season eventually changes. Hold on to your purpose even when your feelings try to pull you away from it. Keep building when nobody applauds. Keep believing when nobody understands. Keep walking when the road becomes difficult. One day you will look back and realize that the very obstacles you once feared became the foundation of your greatest strength. That is how an unshakable life is built, one faithful decision at a time. What if the greatest enemy you will ever face is not standing in front of you, but living inside your own habits? Think about that for a moment. Many people spend years fighting critics, competitors, difficult circumstances, and unfair situations, while the real battle quietly grows stronger within them. Fear becomes a habit. Doubt becomes a habit. Complaining becomes a habit. Worry becomes a habit. Then one day they wonder why peace feels so far away. The truth is simple. Whatever you repeatedly practice eventually becomes your character. Look at a farmer preparing his field before planting seeds. He knows something many people forget. The harvest is decided long before the fruit appears. If weeds are allowed to grow unchecked, they steal the nutrients meant for the good seed. In the same way, negative habits quietly steal your joy, confidence, and purpose. You cannot expect a peaceful life while constantly feeding anxious thoughts. You cannot expect confidence while constantly speaking words of defeat over yourself. Pay close attention to the conversations you have with yourself every day. Most people would never speak to a friend the way they speak to themselves. One mistake happens, and they call themselves a failure. One rejection comes, and they believe they are not worthy. One delay appears, and they assume life is against them. Those words may seem invisible, but they shape your future more than you realize. Your mind believes what it hears repeatedly. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with heavy stones every single day. At first, the weight feels manageable. As time passes, every step becomes harder. Eventually, you become exhausted without understanding why. Bitterness, guilt, regret, and fear are those invisible stones. They were never meant to be carried forever. The longer you hold on to them, the heavier your life becomes. Freedom begins the moment you decide to put them down. Success is not built through one extraordinary decision. It is built through ordinary decisions repeated consistently. Every morning you choose gratitude over complaint, courage over fear, discipline over excuses, and purpose over comfort. You are building a stronger version of yourself. These choices may seem small today, but over time they create a life that cannot easily be shaken by temporary problems. There will always be distractions competing for your attention. The world constantly invites you to compare your life with someone else's, to chase approval, to seek validation from people who cannot define your worth. But comparison is a thief. It steals contentment. It steals confidence. It steals focus. Stop measuring your journey against someone else's timeline. Your assignment is unique, and your growth will happen at the pace required to prepare you for it. Remember this powerful truth every single day. You become what you consistently think, consistently believe, and consistently practice. Protect your thoughts. Guard your habits. Choose your words carefully. Feed your spirit with truth instead of fear. Every disciplined decision is another brick in the foundation of an unshakable life. One day people will admire your strength without realizing it was built quietly through thousands of unseen choices, one faithful step after another, until nothing outside of you could control what lived within you anymore. What if I told you that the greatest level of freedom is reached the moment you stop needing everyone to understand you? Most people waste years explaining themselves, defending every decision, answering every criticism, and trying to convince people who have already chosen not to believe in them. Every minute spent chasing acceptance is a minute stolen from your purpose. The strongest people are not those who win every argument. They are the ones who know which arguments are not worth having in the first place. Imagine standing before a mirror covered with dust. No matter how valuable you are, your reflection appears unclear because something is blocking the view. Many people spend their lives trying to polish the reflection instead of removing the dust. The dust is fear. It is insecurity. It is the constant desire for approval. Once those things are removed, you finally begin to see yourself clearly. Confidence is not created by applause. Confidence is discovered when you stop allowing other people's opinions to define your identity. There is a reason diamonds are formed deep beneath the earth. They are created under pressure, hidden from the eyes of the world. During the process, nobody applauds them, nobody celebrates them. Yet when they finally emerge, their value is undeniable. Your life follows the same principle. The seasons when you feel unnoticed may actually be the seasons that are producing your greatest strength. Do not mistake hidden preparation for forgotten purpose. Many people quit too early because they expect instant results. They plant seeds today and expect fruit tomorrow. But every meaningful achievement requires patience. The tallest trees spend years developing roots before their branches reach the sky. If growth above the ground happens faster than growth below it, the first storm will destroy everything. Your unseen discipline is preparing you for responsibilities your current strength could not yet carry. When someone insults you, pause before reacting. When someone rejects you, breathe before responding. When someone misunderstands you, resist the temptation to fight for immediate validation. Silence is often more powerful than explanation. Time has a remarkable way of revealing truth. You do not have to defend your character every time someone questions it. Continue living with integrity and your actions will speak louder than your arguments ever could. Never confuse being quiet with being weak. A lion does not roar every minute to prove it is powerful. Its confidence is not found in constant noise, but in quiet certainty. In the same way, mature strength does not react to every distraction. It knows that energy is precious. Every unnecessary conflict drains the focus needed to fulfill your purpose. As you continue growing, you will notice something surprising. The things that once disturbed you begin losing their power. The words that once hurt no longer control your emotions. The delays that once frustrated you become opportunities to develop patience. This is not because life has become easier. It is because you have become stronger. Walk forward with quiet confidence. Let your discipline speak louder than your excuses. Let your consistency speak louder than your emotions. Let your character speak louder than your critics. The world will always have opinions, but your destiny is not determined by the voices around you. It is determined by the strength you build within yourself every single day, until nothing outside can shake the peace that now lives inside your heart. What if your greatest breakthrough is waiting on the other side of the one fear you keep avoiding? Think about that carefully. Every dream demands a price. Every purpose requires sacrifice. Every extraordinary life is built by ordinary people who refuse to let fear become the author of their future. The difference between those who remain trapped and those who rise is rarely opportunity. More often, it is the courage to take one more step when everything inside says, turn back. Imagine a blacksmith placing a piece of steel into a blazing fire. The heat is intense. The hammer strikes again and again. To someone watching from a distance, it may seem like the steel is being destroyed. But the blacksmith knows a different truth. The fire is not ruining the metal, it is strengthening it. Every strike gives it new shape. Every moment in the flames prepares it for a greater purpose. Life often feels exactly like that. The seasons you call painful may be the very seasons shaping you into the person you were always meant to become. Too many people allow temporary pain to convince them they have reached a permanent ending. They experience one failure and believe they are finished. They lose one opportunity and assume no others will come. They face one rejection and begin doubting their worth. But life does not end because one chapter becomes difficult. Every chapter is preparing you for the next one. The story only ends when you decide to stop turning the pages. There is incredible power in refusing to quit. Not because quitting is always wrong, but because many people quit just before the breakthrough they have been praying for. Success often hides behind moments of exhaustion. Victory frequently appears after seasons of disappointment. The strongest people are not those who never feel like giving up. They are the ones who continue moving even when every emotion tells them to stop. Remember the process of building a house. Before beautiful walls can rise, workers spend weeks digging into the ground. To someone passing by, it looks like nothing is happening. In fact, it may even appear as though progress is moving backward because the ground is being torn apart. Yet, without a deep foundation, the house could never survive strong winds. Your hidden seasons are building the foundation your future requires. Do not despise the process, simply because others cannot yet see the results. You must also learn to release what no longer serves your purpose. Some relationships belong to a previous season. Some habits belong to an older version of yourself. Some fears belong to the person you used to be, not the person you are becoming. Growth always requires letting go. You cannot carry yesterday's limitations into tomorrow's possibilities. Stand up every morning with this decision already made. I will not allow fear to lead me. I will not allow doubt to silence me. I will not allow criticism to define me. I will continue growing when nobody notices. I will continue believing when nothing makes sense. I will continue walking even when the road feels lonely. One day, the same people who questioned your journey will look at your life and wonder how you became so strong. They will never realize that your greatest victory happened long before success became visible. It happened the moment you mastered yourself instead of your circumstances. Have you ever noticed that the people who carry the deepest peace are not the ones with the easiest lives? They are often the ones who have endured the greatest storms. They have been disappointed, betrayed, overlooked, and misunderstood. Yet somehow they continue to walk with confidence, kindness, and strength. Why? Because they discovered a truth that changed everything. Your circumstances may shape your environment, but they never have the authority to define your identity unless you surrender that authority yourself. Think about a mountain standing for thousands of years. Seasons change around it. Snow covers it in winter. Rain falls against it. Fierce winds crash into its sides. The scorching sun beats down on it during summer. Yet the mountain remains. It does not argue with the weather. It does not complain about the seasons. It simply stands firm because its foundation reaches far deeper than what anyone can see. Your life should become like that mountain. Let circumstances change if they must, but never allow them to move the foundation of who you are. One of the greatest mistakes people make is confusing their situation with their identity. Losing money does not make you poor in spirit. Experiencing failure does not make you a failure. Being rejected does not make you unworthy. Facing delay does not mean your future has been cancelled. Temporary experiences are exactly that, temporary. They are events, not definitions. Never wear a moment as an identity when it was only meant to be a lesson. Imagine an artist creating a beautiful painting. Before the masterpiece is complete, the canvas often looks messy. There are rough lines, unfinished shapes, and colors that seem out of place. If someone judged the painting halfway through, they would completely misunderstand the artist's vision. Your life is no different. Do not judge your future based on an unfinished season. The picture is still being painted. What seems confusing today may become the most beautiful part of your story tomorrow. The world constantly tells you to seek comfort, but greatness has never been born inside comfort. Muscles grow by resisting weight. Wisdom grows by overcoming challenges. Patience grows by waiting. Courage grows by facing fear. Every quality you admire is developed through resistance. Stop asking why life feels difficult and start recognizing that difficulty is producing the strength your purpose demands. There will be days when your progress feels invisible. You will work hard without immediate reward. You will remain faithful without instant recognition. You will keep believing while others continue doubting you. During those moments, remember that roots grow silently. Nobody celebrates the roots, yet without them the tree could never survive the storms that eventually come. Your unseen growth is never wasted. Choose every day to guard your heart more carefully than your reputation. Protect your peace more fiercely than your pride. Invest more energy into becoming the right person than appearing successful to everyone else. The opinions of people will rise and fall like changing weather, but character remains when applause disappears. So refuse to let temporary problems create permanent fear. Refuse to let criticism steal your confidence. Refuse to let disappointment weaken your faith in your purpose. Keep standing, keep growing, keep trusting the process. One day you will realize that everything you once believed was sent to break you actually became the very thing that built an unshakable spirit, a disciplined mind, and the life that no circumstance could ever control again? What if the life you have been praying for requires a version of you that does not yet exist? That thought changes everything. Many people ask for greater opportunities, greater influence, greater success, and greater responsibility, but they resist the process that creates the person capable of carrying those blessings. Growth is never accidental. Every new level demands a new mindset. If you remain the same person while expecting a completely different future, disappointment will continue to follow you. Transformation always begins within before it becomes visible on the outside. Imagine an archer preparing to release an arrow. Before the arrow can move forward, it must first be pulled backward. From the outside, it appears to be moving away from the target. Yet the backward pull is exactly what creates the power needed to reach the destination. Some seasons of your life feel exactly like that. You may feel delayed. You may feel as though life has pulled you away from everything you hoped for. But perhaps you are not moving backward at all. Perhaps you are being prepared for a greater launch than you ever imagined. Too many people become discouraged because they compare their private preparation with someone else's public success. They see the reward but ignore the years of discipline behind it. They admire the victory but overlook the countless mornings of sacrifice, rejection, learning, and persistence. Never envy what you have not been prepared to carry. Everything has a season, and every season has a purpose. The greatest victories are rarely announced with loud celebrations at the beginning. They begin with quiet decisions that nobody notices, deciding to wake up earlier, deciding to forgive instead of holding resentment, deciding to remain disciplined when comfort calls your name, deciding to keep believing when results are invisible. These small decisions seem ordinary, yet they slowly build an extraordinary life. Character is not created in one dramatic moment. It is built one faithful choice at a time. Remember the process of refining gold. The fire removes impurities that cannot remain if the gold is to reach its highest value. In the same way, difficult seasons reveal attitudes, fears, and habits that no longer belong in your future. Instead of asking why the fire came, ask what it is removing from your life. Every trial has the potential to make you wiser, stronger, and more focused if you refuse to waste the lesson. You must also learn the power of waiting without losing hope. Waiting does not mean doing nothing. Waiting means continuing to prepare while trusting that the right opportunity will arrive at the right time. A farmer does not dig up the seed every day to check if it is growing. He waters it faithfully because he trusts the process. Learn to trust your own process with the same patience. One day, the struggles that once kept you awake at night will become the testimony that inspires someone else to keep going. The pain that almost made you quit will become proof that perseverance is stronger than fear. So keep building your mind, keep strengthening your character, keep protecting your peace. Every challenge is preparing you for a future that requires an unshakable spirit. And when that future finally arrives, you will discover that the person who stepped into it is far stronger, wiser, and more fearless than the person who first dreamed about it. Have you ever wondered what separates people who merely survive from those who leave a lasting legacy? It is not money, it is not talent, it is not perfect circumstances. It is the decision to live with purpose instead of living by emotions. The world is full of people who react to everything, but history is written by those who remain focused when everyone else is distracted. The moment you stop allowing temporary feelings to control permanent decisions, you begin living a life that cannot easily be shaken. Imagine a lighthouse standing on the edge of a rocky coastline. Day after day, powerful waves crash against it. Violent storms surround it. Darkness covers the sea. Yet the lighthouse never abandons its assignment. It does not chase the ships. It does not argue with the wind. It simply continues shining. Because of its consistency, lost sailors find direction. Your life should become like that lighthouse. Let your purpose remain steady, even when everything around you feels uncertain. The world does not need more people who panic. It needs people who remain faithful to their calling. Many people waste precious years trying to avoid discomfort. They believe happiness comes from having no problems. But real peace is not the absence of difficulty. Real peace is the confidence that no difficulty can steal your purpose. Every obstacle that appears in your path carries two possibilities. It can become an excuse to stop, or it can become an opportunity to grow. The choice is always yours. Think about an experienced marathon runner. They do not sprint at the beginning, because they understand that success belongs to those who manage their strength wisely. Life is also a marathon, not a sprint. If you exhaust yourself chasing every distraction, responding to every criticism, and worrying about every opinion, you will have little energy left for the purpose that truly matters. Learn to protect your focus. Your attention is one of your greatest treasures. There will always be voices trying to convince you that your dreams are too big, your timing is too late, or your past mistakes are too great. Never give those voices more authority than your own conviction. The opinions of others are temporary. Your purpose is greater than their limitations. Stop borrowing doubt from people who have never had the courage to pursue their own dreams. Remember that an arrow only reaches its target because it refuses to change direction every second. Many people fail, not because they lack ability, but because they constantly abandon one path to chase another. Stay committed. Stay disciplined. Stay faithful to the vision placed inside your heart. Consistency will accomplish what occasional bursts of motivation never can. As you continue growing, you will notice that your greatest victories are becoming internal before they become external. You become calmer in difficult situations. You become slower to anger and quicker to forgive. You stop seeking approval from people who cannot determine your value. You begin finding joy in progress instead of perfection. These are the signs of true maturity. So stand firm when the winds of life begin to blow. Let disappointment strengthen your resolve instead of weakening your faith. Let failure become your teacher instead of your prison. Let every setback remind you that your journey is still unfolding. The strongest people are not those who never fall. They are the ones who rise every single time with greater wisdom, deeper peace, and unwavering determination. Keep moving forward, because every faithful step is shaping a legacy that will outlive temporary struggles and inspire generations long after your battles have become victories. Before this message ends, I want you to make one decision that could change the rest of your life. Refuse to give another person permission to control your peace. Refuse to let temporary circumstances define your permanent identity. Refuse to allow fear to become louder than your purpose. The moment you truly master your mind is the moment the world loses its ability to master you. That is the beginning of real freedom, real confidence, and real victory. Take a moment and think about everything you have survived. There were seasons you believed you would never overcome. There were nights when uncertainty kept you awake. There were moments when rejection made you question your worth, when failure whispered that your journey was over, and when disappointment tried to convince you to settle for less than your calling. Yet here you are. You are still standing. You are still breathing. You are still moving forward. That alone is proof that you are stronger than the battles that tried to stop you. Your future will not be built by one lucky opportunity. It will be built by the decisions you make every single day. Decide to guard your thoughts. Decide to protect your peace. Decide to forgive quickly. Decide to remain disciplined when motivation disappears. Decide to keep your eyes on your purpose instead of your problems. Great lives are never created by accident. They are created through consistent choices repeated long after excitement has faded. Picture a river flowing toward the ocean. Along its journey it meets rocks, fallen trees, sharp turns, and steep cliffs. Yet it never gives up because of an obstacle. It simply finds another way forward. Sometimes it flows around the rock. Sometimes it patiently wears the rock down over time. Sometimes it changes direction without abandoning its destination. Be like that river. Do not allow obstacles to convince you that your journey has ended. Let them teach you flexibility, patience, and perseverance. Never forget that your value has never depended on applause. It has never depended on popularity, possessions, titles, or the opinions of strangers. Your value existed before anyone praised you, and it remains even if nobody notices your progress. Stop chasing validation from people who cannot see your purpose. The approval you need most is the confidence that comes from knowing you remained faithful to who you were created to become. From this day forward, choose faith over fear. Choose discipline over distraction. Choose courage over comfort. Choose purpose over popularity. Every decision you make is shaping the person you will become 5 years from now. Build someone your future self will be grateful for. Build a heart that cannot be poisoned by bitterness. Build a mind that cannot be conquered by fear. Build a spirit that refuses to quit no matter how fierce the storm becomes. One day, people will ask how you stayed calm when everything around you was falling apart. They will wonder how you kept believing when others surrendered, how you kept growing when others complained, and how you kept moving when others stood still. The answer will be simple. You stopped allowing life to happen to you, and you began growing through everything life placed before you. So walk boldly into your future with unwavering confidence. Protect your inner peace above everything else, and remember this every single day. The strongest victory you will ever achieve is mastering yourself. If this message challenged your thinking and strengthened your spirit, stay with us, because the next message will take you even deeper into becoming the unstoppable person you were born to be.